I was standing at the kitchen sink when Marcus walked in with a thick envelope. He pulled out our marriage certificate, held it up like evidence in a trial, and tore it cleanly down the middle. 23 years, he said flatly. Wasted on a woman who never became anything. I'm done. My hands were still wet from washing dishes. I watched the two halves flutter to the tile floor like broken wings. My daughter Ashley stood frozen in the doorway, her mouth open, her phone dangling from her hand. She looked at me, waiting for tears, for pleading. For the collapse Marcus clearly expected. I dried my hands slowly on the dish towel, folded it with precision, and placed it on the counter. Then I walked past him, past the torn paper, and into my bedroom. I locked the door quietly, opened the bottom drawer of my dresser, and pulled out a slim black folder I'd kept hidden for 6 months. Inside were documents my attorney had prepared during the trial. Separation Marcus pretended never happened. Divorce petition, asset inventory, forensic accountant's preliminary report, and a single sheet of paper that made my pulse steady instead of frantic. A deed. Sole ownership. The lake house Marcus thought was ours was actually mine, purchased 3 years before our marriage with my inheritance, never converted to joint property despite his repeated requests. I said maybe later, always later. My mother's voice had been clear in my will. Protect what's yours, Diane. Men change when money's involved. I looked in the mirror. 51 years old, graying hair pulled into a practical bun, reading glasses on a chain, a cotton blouse, and jeans. I looked like someone's tired wife. But my spine was straight, my gaze was clear, and my bank account, the one Marcus didn't know existed, held $340,000 from freelance consulting work I'd done quietly over the last decade. Every invoice paid into an account under my maiden name. Every dollar saved while Marcus spent freely, believing I contributed nothing. I changed into a navy suit I'd bought last month, low heels and a silk blouse the color of steel. I picked up my phone and made 3 calls. First, to my attorney, Catherine Brennan. He tore up the marriage certificate, I said calmly. In front of our daughter. I'm ready to file. I'll have the papers couriered to you within the hour, she replied. And Diane, the forensic report came back. He's been moving money. We'll address that in the petition. Good. Second call to the bank. I need to freeze joint accounts and remove my name from shared credit lines. Account holder verification confirmed. This is Diane Mercer, primary on accounts ending in 4021, 3487, and 6293. I request immediate freeze and separation. The representative's voice was crisp. Done. You'll receive confirmation within 30 minutes. Third call to my daughter. Ashley, I'm leaving the house for a few days. You're 22. You're capable. If your father asks where I am, tell him I'm unavailable. But Mom, her voice cracked. What's happening? What's happening is I'm no longer accepting disrespect in exchange for keeping the peace. I'll call you tomorrow. I hung up, gathered my folder, my laptop, and a small overnight bag I'd packed weeks ago, just in case. In the kitchen, Marcus was pouring himself scotch, the torn certificate still on the floor. He looked up when I walked in, my heels clicking on the tile. Going somewhere? He asked with a smirk. Yes. I met his eyes without flinching. Somewhere you're not. His smirk faded. Don't be dramatic, Diane. You'll be back by dinner begging to talk. I won't. I opened my purse, pulled out a single key, and placed it on the counter. The house key. This is yours now. Pay the mortgage yourself. It's $3,200 a month. I'm sure you'll manage. What? His face went pale. You can't just leave. I'm the one who wanted the separation. You're supposed to be here trying to fix things. I tried for 23 years. I replied quietly. You tore up the proof. I'm simply accepting your terms. I walked out the side door, got into my car, and drove away. In the rearview mirror, I saw Marcus standing on the porch, phone already to his ear, probably calling his brother or his lawyer, or whoever he thought could talk sense into me. But sense had already arrived. It was living in a hotel suite downtown, with room service, silence, and a legal strategy that would strip him of everything he thought he controlled. The Riverside Inn welcomed me with soft lighting and the smell of eucalyptus. I checked in under my maiden name, Diane Calloway, and requested a corner suite with a desk. The bellhop brought my single bag up, and I tipped him generously. In the room, I opened my laptop and began working through the forensic accountant's report. Marcus had been siphoning money from our joint savings into an account under his assistant's name, Vanessa Cole, 29, ambitious, and apparently willing to help him hide $87,000 over 18 months. Transfers labeled consulting fees, but Vanessa's LLC had no clients, no services, no website. Just a shell. I took screenshots, forwarded them to Catherine, and added a note. Exhibit A. Fraud and dissipation of marital assets. Prepare for full recovery plus penalties. My phone buzzed. Marcus. I let it ring 4 times before answering. Where the hell are you? He shouted. The mortgage payment is due in 6 days. You can't just walk out. I can, and I did. But don't worry, Marcus. You'll hear from my attorney tomorrow morning. Your attorney? He laughed bitterly. You don't even have money for an attorney. Actually, I do. I've had one for 6 months. And a forensic accountant. They've been very thorough. Silence. Then his voice dropped colder. You're bluffing. You'll see the petition soon enough. And Marcus, one more thing. The lake house? It's mine. Sole ownership. Premarital asset. You'll need to find somewhere else to take Vanessa on weekends. I hung up and turned off my phone. The silence in the room was profound, not empty, but full. Full of my own breathing, my own decisions, my own future. I ordered room service, a grilled salmon, roasted vegetables, and a glass of Chardonnay. I ate slowly, tasting every bite, and then I took a long bath. The next morning, I woke to sunlight streaming through the curtains. No alarm, no Marcus's snoring, no tiptoeing around his mood. I dressed in a crisp white shirt and black trousers, pulled my hair into a sleek ponytail, and went downstairs for coffee. At 9 sharp, my phone rang. Catherine. The petition was served at his office an hour ago. He tried to refuse service. The process server was persistent. How did he react? According to the server, he went pale, then red, then started shouting about how you don't have grounds. I smiled. He'll learn. Discovery starts next week. We're requesting full financial disclosure, including the Vanessa Cole account. He's going to fight this, Diane. Let him. I have documents, dates, and bank statements. He has excuses. At noon, Ashley called. Mom, Dad is losing it. He's calling everyone, saying you've gone crazy, that you're trying to steal everything. I'm not stealing, sweetheart. I'm recovering what's mine and protecting what I built. But he says you never worked. Her voice was small, confused. I worked from home for 10 years doing financial consulting for mid-sized firms. I billed under my maiden name because your father said it was embarrassing to have a working wife when he made enough. I saved every penny. I never told him because he never asked. She was quiet. Then softly, I didn't know. Most people don't. That's how invisible labor works. You're there, but no one sees you. Until you leave. Can I see you? Not yet, honey. Let the dust settle. But I love you, and this has nothing to do with you. She cried a little, then hung up. I sat on the edge of the hotel bed and let myself feel it, not guilt, but grief. Grief for the years I'd spent making myself small. For the marriage certificate torn like scrap paper. For the daughter who had watched her father discard her mother, and learned that love was conditional. But grief passes. What remains is clarity. Over the next 2 weeks, Marcus's calls and texts became frantic. We need to talk. You're being unreasonable. I'll forgive you if you come home now. Then angry. You'll get nothing. I'll drag this out for years. Then desperate. Diane, please. Let's go to counseling. I ignored them all. Catherine handled everything. Discovery revealed the $87,000, plus another $34,000 in cash withdrawals Marcus couldn't explain, plus a credit card in Vanessa's name he'd been paying off monthly. His attorney tried to argue it was a loan. Our forensic accountant shredded that claim in a 4-page rebuttal. The court scheduled a hearing. I arrived in my navy suit, hair professionally styled, minimal makeup, and a leather portfolio. Marcus was already seated with his attorney, a sharp-suited man named Gerald Pitts who looked annoyed. Marcus looked worse, unshaven, his tie crooked, his eyes red-rimmed. When I walked in, he stared as if seeing a stranger. The judge, Honorable Linda Kwan, reviewed the filings with a neutral expression. Then she looked at Marcus. Mr. Mercer, You've been accused of dissipating marital assets by transferring funds to a third party and making unauthorized withdrawals. How do you respond? It was a loan, Your Honor. Ms. Cole needed help with her business. Judge Kwan raised an eyebrow. A business with no revenue, no clients, and no operating history. That's a gift, not a loan. And gifts from marital assets without spousal consent constitute waste. I'm ordering full reimbursement of $121,000 to the marital estate, plus penalties. Marcus's face went white. Your Honor, I don't have that kind of liquidity. Then you'll liquidate assets, sell property, or negotiate a payment plan with your spouse's counsel. This is not optional. She turned to me. Mrs. Mercer, your petition includes a request for exclusive use of the marital home pending final divorce. Given the financial misconduct and your documented contributions, I'm granting that request. Mr. Mercer, you have 14 days to vacate. Marcus shot to his feet. That's my house. Actually, Mr. Mercer, the mortgage has been paid primarily by your wife's consulting income, which she can demonstrate through tax returns you never reviewed. Sit down. He sat, shaking. Outside the courtroom, Marcus cornered me in the hallway. Diane, please. Let's stop this. We can work it out. I looked at him. This man who had torn up our marriage certificate, who had called me nothing, who had stolen from our future to fund his affair. There's nothing to work out, Marcus. You ended this when you chose humiliation over respect. But I'll lose everything. You already did. You just didn't notice. I walked away, heels clicking on marble, and didn't look back. 2 weeks later, Marcus moved out. Ashley helped him pack, and she called me afterward, crying. He kept asking for you, Mom. He said he made a mistake. Mistakes are accidents, I said gently. What he did was a choice. Multiple choices over multiple years. But he's sorry now. Sorry he got caught. There's a difference. The house felt different when I returned. Lighter, as if years of tension had been vacuumed out along with Marcus's belongings. I walked through each room, opening windows, letting in air and light. In the kitchen, I picked up the torn marriage certificate, still on the floor where he'd left it. I placed both halves in an envelope, wrote evidence of dissolution on the front, and filed it in my legal folder. Then I made coffee, sat at the table, and opened my laptop. I had 3 new consulting contracts waiting, worth $85,000 combined. I accepted all of them. That evening, Ashley came over. She looked around, surprised. It feels peaceful, she said. It is. We made dinner together, pasta with marinara, garlic bread, and salad. Simple, easy hours. Over wine, she asked the question I knew was coming. Do you hate him? No. I don't hate him. I just don't need him. And I won't let anyone, not even someone I loved, treat me like I'm worthless. She nodded slowly. I think I needed to see that. See what? That you can leave. That you don't have to stay just because you're scared or because it's easier. That leaving can be the brave thing. I reached across the table and took her hand. You'll remember that when you need it. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. I received the house, half of Marcus's retirement accounts, reimbursement for the dissipated funds, and a lump sum settlement. Total value, $680,000 plus assets. Marcus kept his car, his ego, and his relationship with Vanessa, which according to Ashley, ended 2 weeks after the settlement when Vanessa realized he was broke. I didn't celebrate with champagne or a party. I celebrated by sleeping in, making pancakes, and taking a long walk by the lake. The water was still, reflecting the sky. I sat on the dock, and felt the sun on my face. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Diane, it's Marcus. Can we meet? I need to talk to you. Please. I stared at the message for a long moment. Then I typed a single word. No. I blocked the number, put my phone in my pocket, and looked out at the water. Somewhere behind me, Marcus was realizing what he'd lost. Somewhere ahead, I was building what I'd found. And for the first time in 23 years, the only voice I needed to hear was my own.